Hello, everyone. Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today is Thursday, which means we are looking to the weekend events and everything that is planned that's going on around the area. If you're looking for some plans ahead of Christmas next week and you're looking to do something festive, we'll have all of that covered and more. It's a very, very exciting time with the holiday season in full swing. So let's just get started with all of the events you can look forward to this weekend in the area. And if you live in Shreveport, you'll know that this is a pretty popular house. I'm sure a lot of you pass it every single day without even realizing it or who actually lives there. And it's known as the Holiday Home in Shreveport, and it sits on the corner of Piermont Road and Fern Avenue. Most residents, again, know of this home, but they decorate every single year for Christmas, and they treat passerbys, people walking on the sidewalk, to such a delight with all kinds of lights and inflatables all scattered throughout their entire front lawn. And KTAL's own Lynn Vance got to speak with the owners on why they do what they do every single year and what it means to them to see such a resounding support and how it makes so many people happy in the area.
When they come up and pull up in the yard and say thank you, and I look at them, I said, well, so you're smiling. That means we succeeded.
You may recognize this home at the corner of Piermont Road and Fern Avenue. It's known as the Holiday House. The owners have been decorating this home for 23 years, and they tell us why they do it.
Make people smile.
Give back to this part of Shreveport. I was born and raised here in Shreveport, and I grew up with decorations, and I just love doing it.
They love all the honks and waves from people driving by. They inflate the decorations each day at 10 a.m. The lights are turned on at 5:30 p.m. and it all lasts until 9 p.m.
We had a boy about 3 or 4 years ago that used to come himself, and he was bringing his son about 4 years ago. So that was really neat for us to see that he came with a little kid and he's bringing his children.
As the Smiths get older, it gets harder to decorate, but they said they're determined to make it to 25 years or more of decorating.
We have a very dear friend that has helped us in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years now, Becky Cood. She is responsible for all the nice lights and some bushes and so forth. She didn't get up on the roof. Of course, we hired somebody to do that.
Now,
I don't
I
get on
used
ladders.
to be the one putting the lights on the roof.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
But they still do love visitors and say it's okay to pull in and get out to get a closer look at the decorations. If you're lucky, and sadly many aren't, you might get a peek at Bitsy's Santa collection. But please, only if invited, and you should bring the cutest kids with you. Lynn Vance, NBC6.
And if you're looking for more information about that house, we actually did a story on it on our website on ktalnews.com. That's also where you can get a full list of events and holiday-themed events that are going on around the area from now through the new year. Again, that's ktalnews.com to find a full schedule of everything happening in your area. Now, one thing that is supposed to be huge on Saturday is Rockets Over the Red, and for those of you familiar with the event, you'll know that it was originally scheduled for Saturday, November 29th, but it unfortunately had to be rescheduled to this Saturday because of weather at the time. And they are unfortunately doing a much scaled down version of the event this year, where it takes place from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Riverview Park downtown in Shreveport. And they will have a whole bunch of things to do. They'll have food trucks, they'll have live entertainment, you'll have Santa to take pictures with your kids, and they'll also have face painting activities for them as well. And there will also be several vendors with arts and crafts and other related trinkets that will be available with all of their things to purchase. If you're still looking for that last minute Christmas gift, this is a great opportunity to go and get something special for your loved ones or your friends. And the schedule of events, it is from 4 to 8, but at 6:30 p.m., the Texas Street Bridge will have a drone light show, and that will be such an event to see. It's only the second ever drone show that is being done by Rockets over the Red. And immediately after the drone show, there will be a fireworks show to cap off the night. and it's so exciting. I can't wait to see how it turns out. And last year, they only had about 100 drones, but this year they're going even bigger. They have over 200 drones last year, which is twice the amount of last year over the Red River. And the drones are actually put on by a company called Sky Elements. They are based in Dallas, Texas, and they ended up taking home the Golden Buzzer on America's Got Talent. So that's really cool to see them being put on this national stage and then getting gigs like this one to help make our holiday season that much more pretty and amazing. If you haven't seen a drone show, I highly recommend going to check it out. It's crazy the amount of things they can do in the sky. They can create pictures, they can create a countdown, which is what they plan to do right before the fireworks show. They're going to count down from 10 or whatever number, and just using drones in the sky. And then all of a sudden, you see all these fireworks shoot up, and it's really a spectacle to see. So this is instant memories that you can make with your family this holiday season. And to learn more about it and what the event entails, I got to speak with the executive director of Downtown Shreveport Unlimited, Terry Matthews.
Downtown Shreveport Unlimited is a private nonprofit, and our mission is to create a vibrant and welcoming downtown experience. So we do that by producing 4 events a year. We do Patty in the Plaza, and then Brew, which is the beer festival, and we do the big Mudbug Madness Festival on Memorial Day weekend. And then we do this free community event called Rockets Over the Red. But in addition to the festivals, we also do public murals and enhancement projects in downtown. We just want everybody to have a vibrant downtown experience.
Now, Rockets Over the Red, that has long been a huge fireworks show. It's been a way to kick off the Christmas season in downtown Shreveport, but this is the second time y'all are using a drone show. Could you talk a little bit about what went into that decision?
Yeah, the fireworks actually started way back in 1984, and then we took an 8-year hiatus because of funding issues, and brought it back 10 years ago. So this is our 10th reunion from when we brought it back. And of course, the fireworks are lovely and things like that, but you can see fireworks in other areas. So we wanted to add something new to it. So last year, we decided, well, we're going to take a shot at doing a drone show, the first one ever, not just Christmas, but the first one ever here in this market. And it was a huge success. And so we worked on funding over the past year and have doubled the drones. We started with 100 last year. Now we have 200. So it's going to be a big time. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you're better able to, have all those pictures in the sky, and it just looks better than just like the uncontrolled kind of chaos of fireworks.
It is. And it's so highly specialized and technical what they can do. I mean, it's not just a staple graphic in the sky. They can make it wave at you. They can make it twinkle. So we're really excited about this year's show.
And the company that does the drones, it is called Sky Elements. They're based out of Coppell, Texas. They actually were on America's Got Talent.
Absolutely. They got the golden buzzer.
Right. So how did y'all come into contact with them and contract them out for
this? They got the golden buzzer. So we reached out to them and found out that, it's not cheap, but it was affordable. And we knew if we could probably raise the money, and we did. And since then, we have referred them to numerous other organizations in our area. I think they've done maybe another 3 or 4 shows in this area. So we've kind of introduced them to the local market.
And what other, you mentioned face painting and things like that. What other family-friendly activities will be available?
Well, we've got the food trucks. We've got that. I know we've got face painting. We got the Santa visits. And then I know under the Red River District, DDA is going to do some things. The aquarium is right there for kids to go to. Scyport, Snowport will be going on. So we've kind of all got together and made sure there were plenty of other things going on so people could go in between. And
throughout your career, planning all these events, I guess what has been the biggest joy throughout it?
Well, it's the people. It's, obviously it's the people and giving the community fun and exciting things to do and things to be proud of to live in this community. Rockets Over the Red is free. It is our big free community event. So it's open to anybody and everybody, and we hope they will all come down. But, just working hard to make sure downtown stays relevant and vibrant. That's our mission.
And to give more updates on the rescheduled date, Terry Matthews also appeared on our Loving Living Local with Susan Curtin.
We had 100 drones last year, and it was the first drone show that had been done in this area.
Yes.
And since then, a lot of people have started having drone shows, but we're doubling the size of it this year, so we're really excited about it. And then, of course, at the end, it counts down in the sky, and that's when the fireworks take off. So it's really spectacular. And I hope everyone comes out.
Wherever you are in the city, you hear it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it'll sound like World War III has started, and everybody knows it's rockets over the red.
Yeah.
So we want to remind everybody that will be happening again.
Right.
Well, this is really a touchstone for so many families. They look forward to going out there and getting together with their families. Most of the time it happens right after Thanksgiving, but there's no bad time to do this. It is just such a great
there's really
family
not.
event.
I mean, the holiday season, lasts till New Year's anyway. But we did go ahead and light up all of the downtown riverfront lighting, and it is beautiful down there with the city with the splash pads and the lighting.
Yes.
And then last year we added the RGB kit to our big Christmas tree, so it sings and does animation and all the lighting on the riverfront. So that's already down there for everybody to enjoy. So a lot of people this weekend down there taking pictures. And then, of course, the celebration this coming Saturday.
And thank goodness, it's freezing today, but it's going to be ideal this weekend.
It's going to be perfect, yeah.
And for more information about Rockets on the Red, you can visit our website at ktalnews.com. Now, if you're looking for more family-friendly events around the area, look no further than this year's Family Christmas Festival and Parade in Shreveport. And families around the entire area are invited for a full weekend of festive events, and it officially kicks off tomorrow on Friday, December 19th, with the Heroes of the Heart Christmas Gala. And that will be held at the Petroleum Club in Shreveport at 6:30 p.m. But then Saturday, that is the big one. That is when everything kicks off on Saturday, December 20th at the Festival Plaza. They will pretty much have the entire thing taken over from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it is an all-day event with so much to do all throughout the day. You have family games, you have health and education resources that are available to attendees. There will also be prize giveaways, live entertainment, as well as a gumbo cook-off. So they have the whole shebang when it comes to festive events throughout the entire day. And the Shreveport Family Christmas Parade will take place at 4:30 p.m. at Clyde Fant Veterans Park, and that will include several families, floats, and a whole lot of hometown pride. And KTAL's Mata Drain got to speak with one of the organizers of the festival to hear more.
We're excited to welcome in the Shreveport Family Christmas Festival and Parade for our 8th year. So thank you very much for having us.
Wow, 8 years you have been going strong with this thing, and it keeps on getting bigger and better. So
Yes.
talk to us about what inspired you to kind of just host this event for Shreveport.
So it actually started as a family fun night with Gia, our families that we're doing our after school Christmas, our after school program with. It started as a family fun night with those families, just for families to come together and share, build gingerbread houses and things of that sort. The 3rd year we did that, we had so many families that came out to Airport Park, we had to turn them away.
Yeah.
So God put it on my heart to make this a citywide thing, just because as times are going, technology, we're getting away from family traditions and spending time. So that's what this festival is for. It's for people to come out of their walks of life, come from all of across the river, whatever you're doing, come together and let's sit down and bond together over holiday activities as a city.
Okay, now we are kind of short on time, but I do definitely want you to, get down to the main event. Where does everyone need to go?
Saturday, everyone needs to be Festival Plaza. Our Christmas Family Festival starts at 12 o'clock in Festival Plaza. Free cookie decorating, free gingerbread house decorating, free food, all that. Then for 4:30, our parade is on Clyde Fant. Families come out, come out, come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everything is free. So Saturday, Festival Plaza at 12. The parade is 4:30. And Mudbud Madness also has an event going on in Riverview Park where we'll have a drone show and fireworks at the end. Okay. So Saturday downtown, please come out and celebrate with us.
And for more information about that, you can again visit ktalnews.com. Now, on the bright side, in Shreveport will be at Mall St. Vincent this weekend for its Passport to the North Pole event. And this is an event, it is another family-friendly event where kids are encouraged to go because they will get a passport that they can use to travel stop to stop throughout the mall. And each stop unlocks a fun activity, a sweet treat, or a holiday surprise. So there is a lot to do. If you're a family with kids, this is the perfect opportunity for them to be active and engaged in activities regarding the holiday season. And this will be followed up throughout the entire day with its Christmas extravaganza. And this includes ornament making, elf training, you have face painting, of course, and you also have gift giveaways with one special kid receiving a grand prize that we don't really know what it is yet, but the event organizers have promised that the winner will not be disappointed. And this is another perfect opportunity to meet and greet your favorite holiday characters. You'll have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus to take pictures with, as well as the Grinch. So it is a great photo opportunity for you to instantly make memories to share with your kids forever and ever. And all these photo opportunities, the entire time you're meeting and greeting with these characters, you'll also have the chance to fill your shopping bags because it will be nothing but small businesses that you can support throughout the entire day. The event itself is completely free. There's nothing to worry about there. You just show up and you can create unforgettable holiday memories while also supporting small businesses. And that will take place on Saturday, December 20th at Mall St. Vincent from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And you can find more information about that event on our website at KTALnews.com. And for a full list of events regarding the holiday season, you can also find it there on our website, again, at KTALnews.com. Now, shifting gears a little bit with a stage play that is happening this weekend. And a little bit of background here, in the early 1980s, that's when the AIDS crisis was at its peak. And there is a stage play that is opening this weekend that pretty much goes through the beginnings of the AIDS crisis and the experiences that people felt, the people that stood up and made their voices heard to stand up when it really wasn't even, nothing was being done at the time to help anything. And this is a stage play that has been performed all over the world. It is called The Normal Heart, and it continues to resonate with audiences today. It opens this weekend, kicking off tomorrow night, December 19th, at Stage Center, Louisiana. And KTAL's Susan Curtin got to speak with two of the actors from the production to hear more.
This play is about, at the beginning of the crisis, people standing up and using their voice because it was very much ignored at the beginning. And Larry Kramer, the writer, is basically the lead character that's played by Jarrett Watson in this show.
Right. So it is a really moving play. Now, you play Ben Weeks. Mm-hmm. You're the lead character's brother. Can you explain the dynamic of your character in the play?
Yeah, in a weird way. You know, the crisis affected a lot of gay men, mostly at the very beginning. And so I am the straight brother who's trying to understand, right? And so this play has so many access points for everyone. And basically, the relationship between the brothers is something I think a lot of people will be able to relate to.
Right, and I think that's a really important perspective. Now, Destin, you play Tommy Boatwright, the sassy Southern activist.
That's right.
So your character is really a vital bridge and an emotional record keeper of sorts, right?
That's right. The last scene, I call him Mother Tommy.
Right, right.
The caretaker, the smoother out of all the creases, and yeah.
And I think especially because it humanizes the disease. It puts a face on a really beloved and charming character so that it's not just a statistic.
Right, and they can't beat our heads over with drama. We need a little comedic relief.
Right.
And there's plenty of that, too. You know, and this guy brings it.
Well, it's a heavy subject, and so, you know, you need good writing like that to kind of, you know, bring people in and out of some of those moments effectively.
Absolutely.
Now, director Jalen Livingston is here. No?
Yes.
Yeah. You're going no, like that's
no,
not
he's,
it. Like,
he's here in Shreveport, but he's all over the world. We hung out in LA.
Right, and so he's here, and in directing this for Stage Center. And Stage Center is one of the only groups that would take on a subject like this.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a brave play. It's an important play, and it's something that I think people are really going to respond to it. You know? And Jalen's amazing and has directed on Broadway, and so he's a local guy who's come back just like us. Like us. We're both in Los Angeles, and we're here to be part of this. And Jalen's a New Yorker these days, and is back to tell this story with Stage Center.
Well, you've got a stellar cast, and I know you're nearly sold out. So if you want to get tickets, you need to act fast. Go to stagecenter.com or call the box office. So what are you hoping people will come away from this production feeling?
All the feels. I mean, in scene one, as an acting troupe, we sit and watch, and I got full body chills like 3 times. I mean, people will be moved right out of the get.
For sure. You'll have some laughs, you'll almost assuredly cry, and you'll learn something. And the writing is so great. The conversations are so interesting. I just think you'll be thoroughly entertained and also have an emotional journey.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that this particular disease, it was probably the first disease that came with an activism element to it. You know, most diseases are tackled in other ways, but this has so many different layers, and I think it's worth the discussion and really will take people on a journey of all of the different layers of that particular crisis.
I agree. Yeah. Angelique Feaster plays Dr. Emma Bruckner, and one of her first lines is, "There's always a plague."
Right.
So.
Not like this one.
It's true, and that is exactly what the play's about, is that there needed to be voice behind it, you know, for it to be acknowledged. So it's about a very small group of very brave people, and
Tiny but mighty.
Tiny but mighty. I like that.
I like that. Well, you can catch these guys in a number of different productions. So I know, Blaine, you've got some projects coming up, but we want to also remind people that you did a movie called Santa Girl. It's perfect for this time of year, right?
I did. Segue to Santa Girl.
Right.
Perfect.
So if you want to watch Santa Girl, you can absolutely get that. Is it available on Amazon?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Free.
For free. So that's a good feel-good movie.
And for more information or to get your tickets for the play, you can visit stagecenter.com now. One thing with the holiday season, specifically with movies that are releasing in December, there are so many great movies that are coming out this month. But one of those, probably the biggest one in terms of hype and notoriety, is Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is the 3rd Avatar movie in the franchise. And there was a ton of hype for this one. I remember back in 2009 when the first Avatar was released, they immediately announced a whole bunch of sequels all the way up to Avatar 5, which is, if it's still on track to do so, would release in 2031, but I highly doubt it will release by then because of the time it takes to process all of these CGI images and motion capture and everything that comes with the production of an Avatar movie. And if you've seen any of them, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it is such a beautiful use of CGI. It almost is real when it comes to what you're watching on the screen, especially in the theater, and you're getting that experience and you're just absolutely blown away by all of the visuals that you're looking at, essentially. But this one is off to a little bit of a bumpy start, because in terms of early reviews, it does release today and tomorrow worldwide, and it's doing okay. It's not up to the standards that we're accustomed to whenever it comes to the reviews from the previous films, because if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, which is an aggregator site which takes all of the critics and sorts them either by positive or negative, and if you look at the positive reviews, only 68% of the reviews are a positive one. When if you compare that to the first Avatar, that one had an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the sequel, The Way of Water, had a 76%. So it is unfortunately lower than both of them. And I guess one of the not most insulting things ever, but if you look at it and you view it truly as a cinematic experience and something to be taken super, super seriously when it comes to art and film, it is actually unfortunately lower percentage-wise than the latest SpongeBob movie. Now, that's not to knock SpongeBob at all. I love the original SpongeBob movie, but it's clearly not the same genre or level of quality when it comes to the Avatar movies. So the fact that this is lower than the newest SpongeBob movie it might end up being a sign of things to come. And the reviews, they keep on dogpiling it. I'm still gonna see it to give it a chance because I saw the previous two, and of course, everyone should expect it to win Best Visual Effects at the Oscars this year again. Maybe even Best Sound, depending on how immersive the world truly is of Pandora. But IndieWire said it was still good, but it felt like something you've seen before. It really didn't bring a whole lot of new ideas or concepts to the table this time around. And when it comes to that spectacle, usually, like I was saying, when it comes to the visuals and the sounds and the worlds that you feel so immersed in, they said it feels like it lacks that spectacle of the previous two movies, as well as the newness of its storytelling. And that is really unfortunate to hear. Again, I'm still going to give it a fair shot, and you should too, just to judge it for yourself. But, it was a little disheartening to hear that because people expect very big things from this movie. I mean, the first one back in 2009, that is the highest grossing film of all time ever. To any film that has ever been made, it has made the most at the box office of any previous movie. So again, the hype is built into this, and they plan those sequels well in advance, with the fourth one supposed to release in 2029, and then, like I said earlier, with the fifth and final one, quote unquote, releasing in 2031. But The Way of Water released in 2022, and this one released 3 years later. So those 2-year gaps, it probably won't end up happening, if it does at all, because director James Cameron, who is behind so many classic films like Titanic, and he said that he might not be there for the rest of it if they do get made, because he said he's sort of ready to move on from the franchise, citing the fact that he said he has other stories to tell, quote unquote. And this puts him in a very interesting predicament, because depending on how this does at the box office, which is already expected to break holiday records again, with I believe it was a 340 million to 370 million opening weekend. That's what the projected numbers were. But depending on its success, he said we'll have to wait and see until mid-January to know when, if at all, they'll have any sort of indication of how it will do long term, and if it warrants these other two sequels. And it would be a shame to have those pretty much scrapped, because it was my understanding in researching the fourth one that they already filmed a good bit of the fourth one, because there was supposed to be a time gap, or like a 6-year time jump. So some of the younger actors they filmed already to account for that, because apparently the first third of that movie would have been them, and then they would have jumped into the future, trying to account and plan their steps ahead for that. But if you're in James Cameron's position, he even asked himself, do I want it to be this resounding success? Of course I do, because it makes him a lot of money. He actually just recently was revealed to be one of the Hollywood's few directors who are now a billionaire. And that is largely due to success of the Avatar franchise and the box office that it is so thoroughly enjoyed. And the problem comes, though, whenever he said this could be his last one. He's kind of ready to move on, as I previously said. But if it does have this resounding success, it would, in fact, warrant those sequels where he would have to come back and do those again. But at the same time, he was questioning, do I want that to happen, or do we kind of want it to fail just enough to justify doing something else? And it sounds like that's what he kind of wants to happen, at least in the back of his mind, because again, he said he has other stories to tell. He's kind of ready to move on from the Avatar franchise, because if you know anything about his creative process, you'll know that he is super, super hands-on when it comes to the making of these movies. So if he's not returning, that would be shocking to me, because of how much of his life he is devoted to this franchise. And if he does come back, expect it to be at least in a more laid-back, hands-off approach, but he will still be under the work and production that they do. I'm not sure that Disney, who owns the franchise, would want to have those 2 sequels without him, because he has been such an architect for the world and everything that has been created through Pandora. But that remains to be seen. We'll see what his decision ends up being. I would probably be pretty tired of that as well, just giving so much of my life towards this, because again, the first one came out in 2009, so that's a long time to dedicate to yourself in this film franchise and not really doing or having much time to do anything else. But we'll see what happens with his decision. But that's all I have today on today's episode of Weekend Events with KTAL News Now, which streams every single day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. You can find all of your local breaking, trending news stories like these on our website at ktalnews.com, which is also where we stream every day, weekdays, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.